Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is Janti Yamisha. Today is October 2nd, Saturday, and this is our second Circassian class. How did everybody feel about last week's class? I guess a lot of you came back, so hopefully it was a good class.
Yes, class.
Who remembers how to say boy?
Ala.
Sala, sala, sala. How do we say how?
Hama.
Dawa, dawa. How do we say name? Okay, so don't worry. We'll do a quick review. We're going to continue on. All right. Now remember the rules. When I say class, you're going to say sit with lots of enthusiasm. Okay. And then when I give you a piece of information in the story, we're all going to say ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh. If you want, if you feel comfortable, you can say halamat. Interesting. Halamat. Okay.
Dagwa.
And then when you say something good, I will say dawa, dawa. I'm saying you did something good. Okay. So let me share my screen. Share right there. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now give me a minute. Okay. Class. Are you guys asleep? Class. Mer alas.
علامات.
Mer alas. Okay. So what we're saying? Mer. This. This is. Okay. And then the word for boy is ala. Ala. Because I'm telling you this, in Eastern Circassian, Kabardian, we add at the end of this, okay? So, class, mer alas.
علامات.
Okay. Class, okay. Alam, yitzer, nar.
علامات.
Alam, yitzer, nar.
نارس.
Okay. So here we're saying the word sala again. Okay. And when I add this to it, it's like I'm saying the boy. Okay. So salam, the boy. And then this word here, y. It means his. Okay. The word in Circassian for name is okay. And then I add this R because in Circassian, it's almost like I'm saying the name because it's not some generic name. We're talking about this boy. It's his name. All right. And then the boy's name. What's the boy's name, everyone? The boy's name is Narts. But because I'm telling you this as a piece of information, I add sh to the end of his name. All right. So class Mersalas. Salam Yitzar Narch. Okay. Class. Nahuabzu. More energy. Nahuabzu. Class. Sa. All right. Si. Alas. Sa. Alas. Okay, so what I'm saying here is sa means I or me, I. And then when I say here sa, it's almost like saying I am. And then what am I? Sala. Sala. Okay. Sa, salas. All right. Now, I'm going to choose Lydia as an example. Okay. So I'm talking to Lydia. Lydia is one person. So I'm going to say what, because I'm speaking to you, right? What, and this what is almost like saying you are, what. And class, Lydia, she's a woman. So is Lydia Shala? Hawa. Sit, Lydia.
Hijabs.
Hajabs. Lydia hijabs. Class. Hey, class.
Sit.
Sit. Sa. Sit. Sa sit. Salas. Sa. Si. Whoops. Si. Salas. Awa. However, Awa. Lydia. Wawa hijabs. Okay. So we covered this in our last class. All right. I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of a preview. You can, if you're going to, it's okay if you repeat, but put yourselves on mute if you're going to repeat. Okay. So we're going to, the purpose of this class is not for me to tell you things. The purpose of this class is for you to produce language. We want you to think in this language. We want you to speak in this language. So we give you the information to construct your own sentences, but we're not going to let you read things. We're going to give you all the puzzle pieces so you can put them together. And that's how you're going to be able to not just learn Circassian, but really use Circassian as something useful to communicate with other people. All right. So right now, I'm just going to make sure everyone feels comfortable and understands everything on this page. So the word for what is sit. Sit. Okay. The word for who is chet. Okay. So class.
Sit.
Chet sala.
Nart salas.
Nart alas. Dagwa. That's great. Dagwa. Okay. So dagwa means great. All right. And when we want to say yes, it's actually like this. When we want to say yes, we say inta. Inta means yes. Okay. Hawa. It means no. Okay. Hamma. It means or. Is it this or is it that? Sala. Hamma hijabs. Okay. The word for girl is hijabs. All right. And then when we want to say that's right, that's correct, pej. Okay. Is everybody clear? All right. So let me, I see more people coming into the class. So just give me a moment here.
Maybe we could introduce a little bit ourselves using this information. For example, hijabs.
We will, but I want to give everyone a chance to get comfortable with all the words first. So just bear with me. Okay. So class.
Sit.
Hey, Fuzera, are you guys asleep? Class.
Sit.
Mir alas. Salam yitzer sit.
Narch.
Alam yitzer narch. Nart hijabs.
Hawa.
Nart ala.
Yes. Spatial.
نار تشعلش. نار تشعلة حمخ جبز.
Challenge.
تشعلش. We could also say nart خجبزكم. Right? Nart خجبزكم. Okay? So, class,
Sit.
سسشعلة. انت سسشعلش.
Wow, Zales.
سسشعلش. Okay, so, Lydia,
Sit.
وشعلة.
Awa. Sasifadakam. Sasifajabs.
وخجبز. Pej. دغوش. Class, see, whoops, seats are sit.
Ganti.
Shanties, Pez. Okay, so we're going to practice more. Right now, there are 30 people in this class. I want everyone to take a screen snapshot of this page. Okay, I want everyone to take a screen snapshot of this page. And what I'm going to do, we did this last time. People, this is working really well, especially with a large class like this. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms. I'm going to put 3 people per room so you guys can have practice. I will give you between 3 and 5 minutes. And I want each of you to practice making 3 statements and 3 questions. Okay, 3 statements and 3 questions. You can have long questions, short questions, okay, whatever you guys want, whatever you feel comfortable with. But the goal is to use as much of this Circassian as possible. And you guys can ask each other questions. You guys can ask for help. All right, I'll see you guys back in 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll continue on with the next portion of the course. So let me stop the share. There we go. All right, we're back from the breakout rooms. How'd you guys find the breakout rooms? Is it helpful?
It was great.
It's useful? Good.
It was great.
Dalwa did. So just so everyone is aware, the reason that I make such big use of the breakout rooms is that with a class of 31 people, I am going to speak with each of you, but with a class of 31 people, if I give each person 1 minute to talk, that's 30 minutes. And so in a 90-minute class, that means that you would only get 2 or 3 times to talk. So that's why we use the breakout rooms so liberally.
Yeah,
Okay.
can I also say one thing? I also very much enjoy getting to know my fellow Circassians who are all over the place. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm from Khark, but we had such little opportunities to meet with each other before, like in the past. And it's really a gratifying experience just to be able to speak and to get to know my, you know, fellow Circassians.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, because one of the big things that I'm trying to accomplish, language, it's not a subject to study. It's not like accounting or mathematics. Language is a living instrument, and we use this to talk to people we love, to tell jokes, to laugh, to share what's in our hearts. And equal to speaking this language is to build a community where you guys get to know each other, get to speak with each other. And you would think, oh, next Saturday, maybe I'll see this person again. Maybe I'll see that person again. So I'm very glad to hear that, Lydia, because that's something.
It's a strange experience. It's like you're getting to know someone whom you vaguely knew, but somehow you got separated. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Cool. So anybody else want to add anything to the breakout rooms? They're thinking, they're feeling anything that hasn't been shared already? Okay.
Can I add? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The 3 persons is a bit like maybe too much, because when two persons just speaking each other, the other person is just staying a bit outside, So can we do maybe 2 or 4?
Yeah, I will try. I think 4 is, so the reason I will try 2. The reason that I tried 3 is if you get somebody who's very shy, or you get somebody who doesn't know how to use the computer, or you get somebody who's too dominating, then it may not be it may not be fair for you. So by having 3, there's a better chance that you'll get at least one person who knows how to speak, who feels comfortable, who's not shy, who knows how to use the computer. But we'll try 2. We're going to do more breakout rooms. Okay, so let me go back and share my screen again. Okay. So, class.
Sit.
Sa. Okay, I'm going to say something new now. Zasarobach. Zasarobach. Jantiamisha. Salakam. Jantiamisha. Robach. Class.
Sit.
Sa. Sasala.
Hawa.
Hawa. Sitsa.
Robots.
Robots. Zanti robots. Zanti robots. Has. Once. Okay. Class.
Sit.
Sa. Yun. Yun. Okay. Sas robots. Sas yunch. Yun.
Büyük. Değil mi? Robot büyük.
Class.
Sit.
Sayin.
Nta.
And Class.
Sit.
Uk.
Маленький.
Suk. Suk. Okay. Class. Smurf. Suks.
Ne oluyor buna?
Smurfert Suks. Okay. Class.
Sit.
Smurfien.
Hawa.
Ne diyor?
Smurf.
Smurfet.
Smurfert Suks. Pez. That was. Class.
Sit.
Mer abregs. Okay. Mer abregs.
Abreç bir köpektir.
Abreg hash. Abreg suk. Abreg suks. Big books. Class. Sit abreg.
Abreg.
Abreg has. Has. Class. Nart ha. Sit nart. Alash. Sa sit.
Watch out.
Alash. Class. Sa sit up.
Awa.
Okay, Yemiz.
Sit.
What sit?
Sas Alash.
What was Alash? Ramzi.
Yes.
What hijabs?
Awa. Si hijabs.
What hijabs? What was Alash? Satanai is hap. Sit abreg. Abreg hash. Susit. ستسأل. Let me give you some more information here. Okay, this is a little bit more information. Okay. Setenay hubrak.
İnşallah bana bir şey sormaz.
Setenay hubrak. You turn off the unmute yourself, please.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Abreg sala hama khajabs.
Abreg.
Abreg sala hama khajabs.
Abreg hash.
Abreg has. Pez, trick question. You're smart. You got it. You got it. Camilla.
That
Sasa robot.
Hawa?
Sasa robots.
Левий робот.
Nta. Sasa robots. Camilla.
Sit.
What? What robot?
Hawa.
Hawa. Wawa khajabs.
Sasi hijabs.
Dimaza.
Yes.
What? What tuk? Hamra yin.
Setzuk.
What would tuk? Oh, restaurants. What? What khajabs? Hamasala.
Note sesi hijabs. Jale.
Wawa khajabs. Wawa salaqam. Zareen.
Erkek. Sit.
Ham yitsar sit.
Ne diyor? Ne soruyorsun?
Ham yitsar sit.
Öylesene.
Ne demek ya?
So Ham, the dog, Yitzar, his name, sit. What is it?
Ne diyeceğim? Abrek.
Abregs. Craig, yes, you have a question or a comment.
So if it has an M, that makes it say the dog?
Kind of, yeah. For right
Okay.
now, that's the correct answer. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Craig. Sit. We tsar.
Sitzer Craig.
Witzar Craigs. Pez. Lydia.
Sit.
Wawa robot.
Hawa sasa robotkam. Sasa hijabs.
Wawa khajabs. Halit. Lydia robot. Hamasala.
Lydia hijabs robot
Robot qim. Yes. Robot qim. Lydia khajabs. Pez. See, this is the challenge, guys. If I keep going, we're gonna take the whole class and we're not gonna be able to go. Is it okay, Craig? Keep going like this? Okay. So Leila. Khat ha.
Abreg hash.
Abreg has Delwa. I see a very handsome man with no hair and a beard and glasses. It says your name is Janti Amisha, so I'll just call you the handsome man. I want to talk to you. So, Mr. Handsome Man, sa tuk hamayun sa. Okay, so sa se. So I'm asking you a question. Sa se tuk hamayun.
You might want to switch to the previous slide.
Yeah.
Just to remind,
Okay. So Sasayınç. Sasayınç. Sasıtıkkım. Sasıtıkkım. Sasayınç.
Greg? A little dog?
I'm asking about me. Okay, so I'm asking you here when I say sası. Sası. Now I'm asking you a question because I'm putting my intonation up at the end of that statement. Okay. Sası hama or sasıyin. Am I big? So I'm asking you, am I little or am I big? Now, what do you, in your opinion, what do you think I am? Do you think I'm little or do you think I'm big?
Big.
Okay. So if you want to tell me you are big, you would say, what?
Well,
What?
well,
What?
well.
Yinch.
Inch.
What were yinch?
Well, inch.
Okay.
Well, inch.
And I'm sorry, what actually is your name, sir?
Majidi.
Majidi. Okay. Majidi. What? Hey man, let me go back here. What?
Well,
What?
well.
Back. Sala.
Well,
What was sala?
I am a boy.
Yes, you are a boy. So if
Yes.
so I'm asking you if you're a boy. So to say back to me, you are going to say sa
So,
si
Salas.
alas.
Yes, I am a boy.
Okay, cool. So Majidi, on a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is you completely get it, and 1 is you're lost, where would you say you stand in terms of understanding the whole story that we're trying to tell?
I would say between a 1 and a 2.
Okay, Craig.
Yeah, could you describe the situation, or where you just kind of go through the whole everything that we have up to this point, nice and slow, and then ask all of us where we are?
That's a good point. Thank you. So again, for everyone's benefit, we are so lucky to have Craig here. Craig is one of the key people at TPRS Books, and we are, with their blessing, we are adapting their materials and their methodology for this class. And once a week, I'm lucky enough to be in training with Craig and about 60 other teachers. I'm probably the only one who's not a teacher, and we're learning how to use this method. So I'm going to take a pause right now, and I'm going to very slowly tell you guys where we are in this story. And I just want you to listen. I'm not going to be able to flip around all the slides to give you all the words, but I just want you to listen. And then I'm going to try to ask you how much you understand. And when I ask you, I'm going to say you just have to hold up your hands on a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is, I totally get it. I understand 80% of what's going on.
Yanti, can I clarify what the 1 through 5 is?
Please.
The information that would be most useful for you. 5 means I understand it all easily. 4 means I understand it all, but it's not easy. 3 means I understand it, but I have to use the slide to remind me what stuff means. 2 means even if I have the slide, I don't know everything. And 1 means I'm really frustrated.
Yeah.
Is that okay with everybody? 5 means easy. 4 means I get it, but it's not easy. 3 means I have to look at the slide, but I get it. 2 means even with the slide, I don't get everything. And 1 means I'm frustrated.
Yeah. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So I'm going to explain to you guys what we've been talking about so far. Okay. So I want to make sure I can see you guys, but I also want to make sure I can see the screen and all this other stuff. Okay. So what we're saying is mir alles. Salem yitzar narch. Sa alas. And sometimes sa robots. Okay. Sa, sayunch. Sa, satsukum. Satsukum. Sa, sakhajabskum. Sakhajabskum. Ham, yitzar, abreg. Abreg, yinkum. Yinkum, abreg, thuks. Abreg, thuks. Okay, so that is the story. There are some additional vocabulary words that we've been using, right? So, okay, and all these other things. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, like Craig described just a moment ago, please put up your hand and help me understand how well you understand this story. And keep your hand up because I can't see all of you at the same time. I have to scroll back and forth because there's so many of you, okay? Okay, please everybody put your hand up. All right, please keep them up. All right, good, good, good. Okay, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna say we're average 3.5. We're average 3.5. There's a couple of you that maybe you're a little bit lower, and that's okay. I'll slow down and we'll be repeating stuff, but I would say we're probably 3.5. I see lots of 5s. That's great. Part of the reason, part of the challenge and the opportunity, all of you are what we call heritage speakers. So there's almost nobody in this class, except for maybe Craig. There's almost nobody in this class who has not heard some Circassian before, right? I'll bet you everyone knows the word bzaja or bzaga, right? Come on, everyone knows the word. So Craig, bzaga or bzaja, it means naughty. It means naughty, right? So everyone knows that word. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm actually going to put you guys into the breakout rooms again. All right, we'll take another screen snapshot, or you can use the one that you had before. I'm going to put you into groups of 2. Okay, and I'm going to give you guys another 3 to 5 minutes. Because there's only 2 of you, you'll have more time, but I want you to be honest with the other person. Say, hey, you know, I'm having trouble with this. I need help with that. And take your time to practice. Again, I want you to make 3 statements about this story so far. And I want you to ask 3 questions about this story so far. And the goal is to help each other to understand the content of the story. Okay. So let me go to us. Let me minimize you guys. Let me go to a slide where we have a lot of this information written. Okay, I'm going to use this slide. So like we did before, please take a screen snapshot. And I'm going to stop. So I'm going to stop sharing in just a moment. So if you haven't, please take a screen snapshot. Okay, I'm going to pause. One of the things that's so fun for me in this class is I see so many people with, I don't know many of you, but I know your family names. And I think to myself, oh, he has a cousin in Syria. I know he has family in Jordan. Oh, this Turkish name, I know really it's this old Circassian name. Oh, these people, and it's so fun to look and see all these different names and to recognize them. And then some of you, I look and I'm like, this looks just like this guy I know. And maybe you're related, maybe not, but it's just, it's very heartwarming for me to see that and to feel that. So, oh, we have somebody who wants to join. Admit. All right. So how did everybody feel about the 2 people in the breakout room? Was it better? Was it worse? Do you prefer 3? Do you prefer 2?
I prefer 3 or 4. I think it's better to explain to somebody. And another question in my 2 people group, can you share the slide or send it per email? Is it possible?
Yes, yes, I will email all the slides. Right now we're moving all of our videos from Zoom to YouTube.
Okay.
I have an assistant who's helping me, but it's just taking us more time. Once they're all done, I'll send everybody links to all of the videos and to the slides.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yep. Yep. Anybody else? 2 people versus 3 versus 4?
Jonty, I personally prefer 3 or 4 as well. I think we learn from each other a lot too, right? In these breakout rooms, like I learn when 2 people are interacting, I listen to their question, or if I make a mistake, another one corrects me. So I do like, to be honest, 3 or 4 people as well. I will second Khalid in that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can get a more comfortable view, I guess, of how a conversation is when you hear like in a closed group 2 other people speak. And I feel like you'll be more comfortable asking than just one person, because you know, like it will at least you'll see like how the flow of the conversation is. You don't have to just take one thing at a time, I guess.
Got it.
Let's go back to 3. I think it's the best solution here, because it's enough time for 3 people. One listens, 2 people interacting, and then also joins the conversation. Yeah.
Right.
So that's, it's done. Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm going to do that, because the other thing that I noticed, not everybody has their cameras on, and that's fine, but it's hard to have a conversation when the other person's not having their camera on. The other thing, some people don't want to be in the breakout rooms, so I had to move some of you. And I was like, well, I don't want this person to be all alone, but then I have to pull somebody out of a different room, maybe while they're even talking. So I'm going to stick with 3 or 4.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with 3. You know what? We're going to do another breakout room this session. I'll experiment with 4, and then we can, we'll have 2, 3, and 4, and we can try. Dina, take it easy. By the way, if you have to leave, I get it. Don't worry about it. There's no hard feelings. I know people have busy schedules and everything. So we'll see you again next week. Okay, so I just shared in the group chat a link to the slides. I'm such a dumb person sometimes. Why would you have to take screen snapshots if you can just have the slides? You don't. That's a rocket scientist breakthrough in my brain. All right, let me put this smaller, and let me go back and share it.
It's okay. You are just multitasking. It's just very difficult.
Yeah, it's
many things at once. So.
Yeah, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone can see my screen again?
Yes.
Okay. So we are gonna continue to move on. We're gonna continue to move on. Okay, and I'm going to change the story. You'll see how I'm going to change the story in just a minute. But first, I want to start. Class.
Sit.
Sa terminators.
Oh.
Sa terminators. Okay. Remember, who's the Terminator in real life? Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. How you Terminator? How do you guys like that German accent in Circassian from an American-born guy? Okay. Class.
Good.
Sa.
Wow,
Terminators. Pej. Class.
Sit.
Mer Wonder Womans. Mer. Why am I saying Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's ala. Wonder Woman Terminator. Said Wonder Woman. Has. Okay. So we're going to continue on. I have something up on the screen. Someone asked me, how do I say I'm sorry? And then they said, can you spell this in English letters for me? This is how you say I'm sorry in English letters. And I have this on the screen because I want, a lot of you are not super excited about the alphabet. And the point I'm making here with this word that none of you can pronounce, I'm sure, is that it's not the alphabet that's tough. It's the sounds that we have. It's the sounds that we have. Okay. So I forget who asked, but in case you're curious of how to say I'm sorry, the way we say it is "Biswarau."
Wow.
Which actually Circassian is a very interesting language. Actually, "Biswarau" means I command you to forgive me. I command you to forgive me.
I was wondering if you can do the Lego thing with it.
The what thing?
The Lego, like.
Yeah. Okay. So let me do this real quick. So Craig, forgive us. We're breaking. This is not TPRS, but
No, it's just establishing meaning, Yanti. No, it's fine. It's establishing meaning.
Janti, say it again. You got sort of interrupted when you said the meaning. What does that mean? Like,
so the word here. All right, I'm going to do it piece by piece. So give me a second here.
Guys,
so the word is this. It means to me, in my direction. Do it in my direction. This, and then this here. Hua. This is a verb prefix. It means that something is being done on behalf of another person. Right. So the action is passing from one person to another. So I'm saying, do it in my direction. You are doing it in my direction. Okay. And then this word here is actually, sorry. Whoops. Wow. Wow. Okay. So here, whoa. Okay. So what we're saying here by it's a way of saying I'm sorry. It means pardon me. It means forgive me. All right.
Take out the u in the Cyrillic. The u. Rao. Not wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to spend 1 minute on this. All right. I want everyone to mute yourselves for just a minute. We're going to practice a little bit of pronunciation. So to practice the pronunciation, we're going to use a method called back chaining. We're going to start with the last syllable and work our way forward. Okay. So everyone just repeat. Ra. Okay. And then when we put this all together, how. Okay. Very good. I hear lots of great sounds here. This sound here, for anyone who speaks Arabic, it's ha, like ha, sadaqa, qadr, right? It's this. Zainal, I see you have a question.
Janti, is this when you're apologizing or when you're saying excuse me to one person or a group of people? Is this for one person, isn't it?
It doesn't matter.
Does it? Okay.
No difference.
So let's say you're late for some place for event. There are 5 people waiting for you. When you're saying that's the same thing as one person waiting for you. You're late for him. That's the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. So again, ra. All right. Hua. Okay. Poirao. All right. So that's why the alphabet's important, guys. All right. We're going to continue on. Let's see. Where are we? This is review. Okay. Class, Plus. Okay. We know who Nart is, right? Now, Nart, what we're saying here is ar. So in Circassian, the word for he, she, or it's like Turkish. Oh. It doesn't matter if it's a boy. It doesn't matter if it's a girl. It doesn't matter if it's an object that's not a boy or a girl. He, she, or it is always ar. Ar. Okay, ar. So, ar nalshich sha'ash. Chet nalshich sha'a.
Nart.
Nart. Nart nalshich sha'ash. Okay. Nart yijipstu nalshich sha'ash. Okay. Ar halamach. Halamach. It's interesting. Okay. Let me see what do we have here. Okay. Class. Sa Yijipstu Chicago Sashash. Zainal. Wa Dana Washa'a.
سيجبستو أنجليوم لندن قالم سشاش.
Oh, hella much. Okay. This young girl whose name is Janti Amisha, who's in a park with grass. She's wearing a white jacket. I would like to speak with you. Okay. Wa Dana Washa'a. Yes, you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Dana Washa'a. One mitzum was sha'as. Ooh. Dana namitzum dej. Where in Germany?
Stuttgart kalem sha'ash.
What Stuttgart kalem was sha'as. Halamach. Yamiz.
Sit.
What wayin hamatzuk.
Sasayin.
What were yins? What Stuttgart قال وشاء.
Sit.
What Stuttgart قال وشاء.
Hawa.
دنا وشاء.
New Jersey shash.
What New Jersey وشاش. Sa Chicago سشاش. What New Jersey وشاش.
انت كصغار.
Uhkum. No problem. Uhkum.
Janti, Lalina Yaupska, Lalina. There's a girl, Lalina.
Okay. Laina. I need to find Laina. It's too many people in the class, which is a good thing. Lalina. Lalina.
Yeah, sit.
What? Dana washa'a.
Sashi now she us.
What now sits washa'a? You're a Nalchik? Okay, so now I'm going to ask her a question. I'm going to say, really? So remember when I said before, the word for correct or right is pej, right? And so when I'm telling you that something is right or correct, I say pej, okay? But now if I want to know, like, is this for real? Is this true? Is this correct? I'm going to say pejui. All right, so Lalina, pejui, nashich, wusha'a.
Anta.
Wow. Halamach. Lalina,
Sit.
Dana was shish. So where are you from originally? Dana was shish.
Sashi, Australia. She.
Okay. So in Circassian culture, when we meet somebody, we always ask them where are they from. And this is a very interesting thing because we're not really, it's going to sound strange. We don't really ask them where they're from. What we want to know is what community do they belong to? Okay. So in Circassian, the verb shishin means to belong. Okay. So when we ask somebody, Dana washish, one way of thinking about it is, where are you from? But a better way of thinking about it is, in what community do you belong? And it's funny because, you know, I'm born in the United States, but whenever I'm out with my family, why? Because my mom and my dad were born in Syria. We have a house in Nalchik and we spend summers in Nalchik. And we went to a cafe, Leila Cafe. Some of you may know Leila Cafe. It's a famous cafe in Nalchik. And it was opened 30 years ago by a Turkish repatriant Circassian family. And we go into the, we drive up in a taxi to Leila Cafe. And my son asks me, where are we going? And my wife says to him, Leila Cafe. We're going to Leila Cafe. It was created by us Turkish-born Circassians. And I said to my wife, for 30 years they've been here. There's at least 2 generations of their children that were born here and their children were born here. 30 years later, we still call them Turkum Shish, originally from Turkey, you know? So it's kind of funny. It's like, where do we end? Where do we stop? That I don't know what the answer to that is. But Lalina wa Australium was shish. You are originally from Australia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what? I'm going to go around and I'm going to ask everyone, where are you from? Then the shish. It's not where you are, right? Sa Syria shish. Sa Chicago shish. I am in Chicago. Sa Chicago shish. However, sa Syria shish. Okay. So let's try this a little bit. Zainal.
Atacante.
Then it was shish.
Se Turkum sıçış. London'ım sıçıp savuya.
London'ım
Turkum
sıçıp.
sıçış. Evet.
Sit huda qala. Türkiye shish. Sit huda qala.
Kaler yitse Kocaeli.
Kocaeli.
Kocaeli. Sikuacem ise Hacem Kohabil.
Hacem Kohabil. Siguapas. Firas. غطق.
ست.
ودنا وشش.
سا جوردن سشش. أبو ظبي وجبت سو.
أها. ويوردانم وشش.
يوردانم وشش.
يجبستو. أبو ظبي وشأش.
وشأش.
خونش سيغوابش. We Winitsar sit. What's your family name?
Sa Winitsar Lotox.
Lotox. Siguapas. It's my pleasure. Siguapas. Upsawiz. You're welcome. Mechajab Stukur, Stuttgart. Stuttgart is the Sha'ar, the young girl who's from Stuttgart. What then was
Jandilaras.
Arjandilara.
I cannot change my name here. I don't know how to do it.
No problem. Arashi, therefore, Dana Wishish.
Namitsam Sishupso, our Turkum Sishish. I wanted to say here, you could also say Se Hekum Sishish. So we all are from Hek, are from Circassian because we are from there, right? Originally. Yes. I would not say I am originally from Turkey. So
Yeah, that's why we're here, because we don't feel belonging to, well,
Yeah.
partially belonging to other cultures, I
Yeah.
guess.
This is an
Yeah, that's
international
because we
group.
are all originally Chapta. Yeah, it's just
But
like I
yeah,
said
my
at the beginning.
parents were born in Turkey. So
Okay.
yeah.
So what?
Janti,
Yes.
can I ask you a question about this? To divert from this, the blurry area. Can we say like I was born instead of like I'm from, or my father was born in some place?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. These are great questions. We're gonna go off script a little bit. I'm still recording. I think it's easier for you to see each other and easier for me to see you when we have the screen share like this. And this is stuff now that's not in the PowerPoint slide anyway. So who asked that question? I can't see everybody at the same time.
It's me, Ziwar.
Ziwar. Okay. So the question you're asking is, where were you born? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So the way that we would ask this, dana, where, dana, and dana, where, okay? W, because I'm speaking to you. Dana, w. And now this is going to be a mouthful. Dana, وقش الحوار. وقش الحوار. Okay. You know what? I'm going to share the screen again and put that on the screen. Give me a second here, guys. I just realized that is a mouthful. All right. Let's see here.
Yeah, the question of belonging is problematic for our community. That's why it's beyond the linguistic problem. Yeah, so it goes beyond that.
Yeah, this is an identity class as much as it is anything else.
Will it make any sense to the native speaker if I said this?
Yes, it will. It's perfect. Makes perfect sense. There's no hesitation about this. So I'm going to put this in both alphabets, or there's only one alphabet. I'm going to put this in Circassian, then I'll transliterate it. Then,
well, I was born in Russia, but I'm still hesitant to say that, I am sort of a Russian, because that's not my full identity. I'm not disclosing my full identity. Mostly I say I'm from the North Caucasus, and that's, I guess, the same for everyone, because, yeah, it's a question of belonging. Yeah.
And they are not asking about like citizenship or like documents. What are your documents? It's like where you belong to, and it differs from a person to another.
You can write many booklots of articles about this, sociological articles about belonging.
That's right. That's great, actually. Yeah, we are discussing these questions. Yeah, that actually part of our community and our history, and yeah.
No, so it's pretty much the same for almost all settled diaspora communities. If you're away from the country of your origin, if you like, for more than 100 years. So if you take Jews, Irish, Armenians, it's pretty much the same. If you talk to an Armenian in America who's been there for 100 years, they would refer to their village, their grandparents' village in eastern Turkey as their belonging. So it's quite normal for diaspora communities.
Yeah, Zainal, the only thing is Armenians have their own statehood. We don't. So that's a big difference.
This may change in the future. You never know.
You never know.
There is a long process.
I'm going to put one more thing in here, guys. Give me a second. Switching keyboards and letters, and just give me a second.
It's okay, don't worry.
All right. Let me make I'm trying to fit this on the screen. Okay, so give me a second. All right, everybody can see what's on the screen? Okay, so these perfectly understandable, Zainal, whether you're a diaspora, whether you are a homelander, anywhere in the world, culturally, grammatically, linguistically, these are perfectly understandable statements or questions. Okay, so if you meet somebody and you say, this is this first statement, the verb here is shishin. The infinitive form is shishin. This is not the infinitive form, so we just say shish. When I put this w in front of it, I'm asking you. And this means, really, where do you belong? And if you hear this, you can answer in many different ways. So if somebody asks me, I can say, sa America. I can say, sa Syria. I can also say, my wife is from Nalchik. I have a house in Nalchik. Sa Nalchik. My ancestral village is in Eslamé, in Jalakstane. So I can say, sa Islamé, right? That's my ancestral village. Or I can also say, you wouldn't ever say, I belong to Circassians. That's a weird thing to say. Somebody might say that, but some people might say, I'm a Kabardian Circassian, right? Or what's also common to say is, so my family name is Yemisha. We would say Yemish. And the word for nation is shep. So, but what's interesting here, it's very common to say, I belong to the Yemisha nation. And this is probably the most common answer that you'll get. If you meet somebody in Nalchik, you say, it would be, if I'm meeting a diaspora from Turkey or from Europe, and I say, what I really mean is, where are you from? But if I was in Nalchik and somebody did not know that I was born in the United States, and they asked me, what I would say, I belong to the Yemish family. Okay, so this is how you would say, where are you from? But it has lots of different meanings, it has lots of different interpretations. Okay, now then you can say, dana, where, dana, all right, now let me break this down for you guys. Okay, the verb here is shalhun. I'm sorry, hun. The verb here is hun. Hun, all right, it's hun, hun. All right, that's the infinitive form. There's no N here. So the verb is hun. It means to be born. When I add this ar at the end of it, it's making it a place where you were born. I'm asking about a specific place that you were born, but that's only half the equation. By adding this sh here, I'm demonstrating that it is a location. In Circassian, anytime you see a sh in front of a verb, it means that you are specifying a location or a time. Time and space are the same thing according to physics. So I guess our ancestors were really smart. So when I wrap, and it's hard to say, so we put a vowel in there to make it easier, right? So when I wrap this sha around this verb, and I put this ar at the end, what I'm saying is, what location were you born? And then when I add this it means it's happening. And when I add this wa, it's happening to you, right? And of course, it's happening in the past tense. That's what this A stands for, okay? So side note, Circassian, if you're a linguist, it's called a polysynthetic language. What that means is, instead of having individual words that represent an idea, we create big words with word roots. Arabic does a similar thing. It's called Arabic and Turkish. For those of you who speak Arabic and Turkish, they do similar things. For those of you who speak German, German does something a little bit similar too. So that's what we're doing here. Dana, where? Where were you born? Okay. And then you could also ask, where did you grow up? Or literally, where were you raised? Where were you raised? Where did you grow up? Both are equally good translations. So again, because I'm asking something that happened to you, that's this wuq, wuq, right? There's this prefix of q, so it's happening. W, it's happening to you. Wuq, okay? And then actually, wuq khun means to exist. Khwa means it existed because you already grew up, right? Khun means to exist. Khwa means it existed because you've already happened. Sh means when or where, And so when I say, dana wuq, where did you exist? But here it means, where did you grow up? Because where did you exist would be a very strange question to ask somebody. Okay. We're kind of at the top of the hour. I want to take a pause for a moment and I want to see, was that interesting to people? Was that helpful to people? Or was that like a distraction? So what I want you to do is, if you like that little presentation I just give you, give me a thumbs up. And if it was not that interesting, just go like this. Okay, I see, oh, okay, I see lots of thumbs ups. Good, good. Okay, so guys, let's leave it there. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. I do want to say though, if anyone has, so you guys are all free to leave. The class is formally over. No one has to feel bad saying I have to run. But if anyone has questions or comments or anything they want to talk about, I will stick around for another 5 or 10 minutes to answer any questions or comments that anyone has. Okay, so you're formally allowed to go if you want, and if you want to stick around, ask me any question and I'll do my best to answer it. Asma, do you have a question?
Yes. So we said sa, ar, but what if somebody is asking a question about, let's say, my whole family? So how do I say we or us?
The.
Okay.
The. We or us, it's the same word. We, us, the.
Okay.
The.
Cool.
So for example, all of us right now in this video chat, de adigas. We are Circassian. De adigas.
I'm so sorry for my cat, by the way. I know it might be some distraction for some people.
Not
but
at all.
No, yeah.
Pointing her way back to me, and it's just a lot.
Yeah, we love animals. It's great. Jaddu. Do you know what the word jaddu?
In Turkey, the Kabardians say geddu with G.
Right.
Not only in Turkey. So, you know, this is a great point. Not only in Turkey, people in Russia, people in Syria, people in the United States. So jeddu is how I say it because I taught myself, I learned from books. My father says gaddu. Both are acceptable. One is, it's not that one is right, it's not that one is wrong. Just like there's Australian English and British English and American English and Canadian English, there are some slight differences in the pronunciation. Gaddu is correct, jaddu is correct. Okay, don't let, in this class, if there's some grammatical mistakes, we'll correct them for you, but don't let anyone ever tell you that this is right and this is wrong when it comes to dialects.
Yeah, we accept all dialects.
We accept all dialects.
So I can say chatu too then, right?
So yes, if you speak Abazakh or Bjadok, you could say chatu, chatu.
We actually would like to hear that. I've never heard that. I've heard gaddu, jaddu. Can you say it again?
Chatu.
Chatu? Chatu? Yeah. Okay.
It's Western dialect, Lydia.
Yeah, okay.
So it's interesting, Lydia, because like sala is how we say boy. The way that Westerners say it is sala. It's much more musical.
Sometimes ala as well.
Ala, yeah, ala. Or ayla, ayla. I've heard it also as ayla. Yeah.
The same for girl.
Can you close the presentation so we can see each other?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me close the presentation.
So,
yeah, sorry.
I think the word egg is the one that varies most between dialects. The egg word or the egg, word for egg.
So you can say
my mother was Shapsa, so she always spoke in Shapsa dialects. So it was Kalke. For her, it was Kalke.
Yeah.
My father, although we're Besni, but we lived in an Abzakh village, so he spoke Abzakh dialect. So he always says Chanche. And then we learned the Kabardian version of it, obviously, later on. It's Gedige, isn't it?
So yes, you can say Tsatsa, Kaka, Jaditsa, Kaditsa, Jadika, Kadika.
Yes.
But you know what's funny? Here's the nice thing about Circassian. Because it is, like I said, a polysynthetic language, once you learn some basic word roots, lots of things will make sense to you. So the word Jaditsa, what Jaditsa means is Jed is chicken or Ged, right? Itcha means it came out of. So Jaditsa came out of a chicken. It's an egg. But what's funny, if you see,
is also the rare part, like the end.
The end or the tail.
Yeah. The tail.
But then what's really funny to me is, how do you say a goose egg? Kaz Jaditsa. We don't say kazitsa. So
Okay. Can you answer the questions that you ask? Can you answer those questions? I want the answer changes. I just want to hear you say it.
Lydia, why don't you ask me these questions and I will answer these questions, and that way people can see a real conversation.
And then you can do the same.
And I'll do the same.
And Zalina. Okay, Janti, Dano Wukasalhuar. Dano Wukasalhuar.
Sa America sa Kashalhuas.
Dano Wukasalhuar.
Amerikiri sa Kashalhuas.
We are daner Dano Wukasalhuar. We are daner Danas Desisher.
Siya daner Syria Kashalhuas, Kashalhuas. Quad Lander Yiputsa, America Apquat.
Hakum Danafis Desus, Yamishaha, Hakum Danafis Desus.
Whoops. Sa Islamem Sasus, Jilex the name Yahar. Hakum Sus Islam. So there's two villages called Islam, the homeland. One's closer to Baksan and one's in Jilex Dene. So I'm from the Jilex Dene, Islame Kwaja. Lydia, what dinner was this?
So I still refuse to say any other Kafkaz.
We Qajar Sitquada.
Si Qajar, Qabarde Qajar, Qujin. Oh, Khatashza. Qujin
Rustam.
Yipsa. How is that? Yipsa Yishara Darat Yishara. Yipsa. Yipsa. Lower.
Lower. So, Zalina. What dana was shipsour?
Sa injilism shopsour.
So I asked her, where does she live? Then so when means to live.
Sa
remember,
injilism shopsour.
And she lives in England. So when means to live. But remember, when we want to show a location or a time, we put sh in front of it. And so this becomes sho. So I say, Dana Shipsour, where do you live? And she says, Sa Yinjiliz, England, Sa Shopso. She lives there.
I have troubles with all my locations, so I'm not a good example.
Yeah. Well, we all have identity and geography issues, right?
The only place I want to live is in my village, Kospojin. That's it right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, if I don't know if anybody else is thinking the same thing. This is all very interesting, and I've always wanted to learn how to answer these questions, but it's very overwhelming, extremely, because just right now you said like 5 different things, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to just keep up with everything that was said, so
Yeah.
And that's why maybe we should also stick to the simple, for now, simple lessons, no?
Yeah.
Because it gets overwhelming. Our goal here is to learn simple things, how to say, how to communicate with people.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, I think it's very helpful listening to all of you talk like that, you know, like even though we don't necessarily might not know these vocabulary, it's very helpful for me to listen to how you answer, because in my daily life I've heard the same conversation over and over, and it's just the repetition helps it stick in my brain.
Sure.
Basically. So
Sure.
just my
Yeah.
thoughts.
No. It's good feedback, Asma, because what we're trying to do in the classes is go very slowly. We're not in a rush. You know, sometimes people might say, let's finish a chapter or whatever in a book. Our goal is actually not for you to learn this language, but to acquire the language. And the difference is, if you learn, you can learn a phone number. That means you've memorized a phone number, right? You acquire the ability to ride a bicycle. Once you acquire knowledge, you can never forget it. You can never unlearn a secret that somebody tells you, right? So in this class, what we're trying to do is not lecture you, but get you to produce language, right? To build those neurosynaptic connections in your brain, to connect them to your tongue so that it becomes easy to say, right? Now, of course, this is not the formal class. We're after the class just to answer additional questions. And the other challenge, it's a challenge and it's an opportunity. We have, if we were teaching Chinese, everyone would walk in at the same level, but we are heritage learners. So everyone here has some knowledge of the language, and some people know more, some people know less. Some people speak one dialect, some people speak another. In a way, it's good because we can move a little bit faster, but in a way, it's challenging too, because we have to slow down and explain why something can be said in multiple different ways.
Yeah. That just reminds me, like when I hear my dad speaking to us, for example, I've known that this is how we say something, right? But I never really understood why it is composed the way it is. And just right now, when you were explaining all the roots and why we added this for past tense, we added this for you, it now is all making sense in my head. So this is really helpful. It's been great, honestly. So thank you so much for that.
I'm glad. Anybody else? Questions, comments, statements, anything you want to ask or share? Concerns, feedback?
I mean, personally, I'd like to thank you, first of all, to be honest with you, to taking on this huge task. And not just is it huge, but it's also a very unique task, because I never come across with a class where Circassians actually thought via English, as far as I know. I mean, I've seen obviously classes based on Turkish or Russian, what have you, but not English. So I think in itself and of itself is a major task, and I want to thank you for that. And I also believe that this might be the way for the future, because in the years to come, almost all of us, very few of us will know the Circassian language, you know, from their family. I'm talking about the diaspora, sorry, not the homeland communities. So, but everyone will have a knowledge of English more or less to a you know, varying degree. So that would probably be the basis to teach the language, at least a part of the language that you can survive with, like, I don't know, a few hundred words, you know, major sort of expressions that would actually get you going when you go to the homeland, or sort of create relationships, establish relationships. I think that's very important. That's why I mean, every Circassian lesson is important when it's done online also, but this is way too important to fail, if you like. So it has to go well. So I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, seriously, and I would like you to know this as well. I really very much appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you. And I should say, I'm not alone here. You know, Zalina is with us. Lydia is with us. There's about 10 of us. And Craig, who, you know, he's helping us as well. But there's about 10 of us. We're from all around the world. I'm the only non-native speaker. But there's 10 of us that have been working to adapt these materials, discuss how we can create a modern, and actually, Lydia's the mastermind here. She, almost for a year now, she said a while ago, let's think about how to teach this language in the 21st century with modern tools. So really, this is a team effort, but I would say Lydia is the mastermind who really who planted the seed that started us to form this group and make these efforts. And this is an experiment. We want to keep doing this, keep making it better, keep getting feedback. So I would thank Lydia and Zali and all the other people that are helping us. And I would thank all of you for taking a risk, spending your time, coming to these classes and giving us the opportunity to test and learn.
Thank you, Janti. And that's it's very important what you said, because 90% of our fellow Circassians live in diaspora. And that's why I think we had to develop something in English language, right? So for 90% of our people, right? So that's very important. And that's why we are doing this actually experimental thing. And thank you for all of you for participating. It's very important.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Yeah.
All right. I have my kids knocking on my door to my home office. So thank you all again. I will circulate the video link once we get it up onto YouTube. And we'll see each other, God willing, in 1 week.